I had a student ask me about this question, so I figured I would do a video for you all so that you could follow along. Now, I'm not going to do the question that's here particularly. I'm going to do the example, but it'll work the same way, just to have different numbers. Okay? All right, so let me bring up a lovely document here. And actually, I did one in another video that was very similar, but the one I did in the other video was parallel. We want perpendicular on this one. And the numbers I'm going to be using are, hold that thought. Let's see, -10, 8. Let me type the problem up. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so we've got -10, 8, 7x minus 5y equals 2. So the first thing you're going to do, just like the old one, is you're going to transform the old line into y equals mx plus b form. And you're going to write down the old line slope. All right. So it was 7x minus 5y, 5y equals 2. And you want to get the y part by itself, so you're going to subtract 7x from both sides, just like that, right? Because you want to get the x out of there. You want it to just be -5y. So that will lead you to -5y, that's what's left over here, equals, there's an equal sign right there, let's see, -7x plus 2. They're not like terms, so you just got to write it -7x plus 2. Technically, it's also 2 minus 7x, but that wouldn't be an mx plus b form, and that's the form we really like. Now, we want to get rid of that -5 in there because we want it to just be plain y. So we're going to divide both sides by -5, right? Like that. Right? And the reason we do that is that it allows us to divide away the -5. So -5 over -5 makes 1y. So we're going to have 1y on the left equals, and then we got to figure what it is on the right. All right, so let's do this. Equals, all right, so -7 over -5 makes positive 7/5, right? Because when you have both of them being negative, right, that turns in positive. So it's positive 7/5 x minus 2 over 5. And actually, to be honest, the minus 2 over 5 part isn't really that interesting to us. All we really care about is this slope. So the old slope was 7 over 5. Matter of fact, I'm going to write old slope, 7 over 5. Done. So we found the equation in y equals mx plus b form, the old equation, and we wrote down the slope of the old line. Now we're going to write down the new slope. So remember, because this is perpendicular, right, you want to flip it. So you want to make it 5 over 7. And you want to change the sign. So it's going to make it negative. Since it was positive, it becomes negative. If this had been negative, then you would have turned it positive. Now for the last part, what you want to do is you want to take that slope that you just figured out, your new slope, and you want to put it into the equation y equals mx plus b, along with the point that you were given for x and y, -10, 8. And you're going to solve it for b, right? Solve for b, right there. All right, so let me pull this up. And of course, this is all from that other problem. So it was -5. I can type 5 over 7. There we go. 5 over 7 x plus b. But we know that this is 8. And then, instead of 3 sevens, it's going to be -5 sevens. And this is 10. I think it was -10. Let me double check that. Yeah, it was -10, 8. Okay. So I put in 8 for y. I put in -10 for x. Okay, well, this is really -10 over 1, right? So what you're really doing is going to multiply -5 times -10, which is going to make 8 equals positive 50. Sorry, I was cleaning that up. All right, 50 over 7 plus b. Now you want to get the b part by itself, so you need to subtract 50 over 7. Subtract 50 over 7. Do it to both sides. Okay. Now over on the right-hand side, it's going to mean that they disappear, because that's the whole reason you're doing it, is to make it go away, so you have just b by itself. Now over on the left-hand side, You need to find what 8 take away 50 over 7 is. Well, luckily for you, you have a calculator. I mean, if you want to do it longhand, I'll just show you real quick. If you want to do it longhand, it's 8 over 1 times, times, let's see, 7 over 7, right? You'd have to make it so they have the same denominator, then you could add them up and stuff, right? So you could do it that way. So it'd be, whatever that is, 56, take away 50. So I think the answer is going to be 6, but we'll find out. Because you don't have to do it the longhand way if you've paid good money for a calculator. Let's see. Quit. To get me out of the screen. That was in a graphing thing. That was the problem I did before. So I'm going to take 8 minus 50 divided by 7. Math number 1. Enter. And there it is, 6 over 7. So I was right. So if you want to do it longhand, again, it's not a big deal. It would just be multiplying by 7 over 7 to make it so they have the same denominator. So it'd be 56 over 7, take away 50 over 7, which gets you 6 over 7. Or you could use your calculator to do it. There it is. Again, the goal of this course isn't necessarily fraction work. So then you have to write it out. So you have to go, okay, I have negative 5/7 x plus 6 over 7. There's my equation. Done. All right, so let's double check ourselves right here. And they do it kind of a different way with this example, but I don't really like it. I prefer the mx plus b thing. And there you go. There's the final answer. Negative 5/7 x plus 6 over 7. Cool. All right, so hopefully that made sense. You transform the old equation, find the slope of it. That's what you're really interested in. Then you figure out your new slope, and then you substitute that into y equals mx plus b along with the point they gave you. And then you have to solve for b, and that might involve some fraction work with your calculator. And then you write the answer when you're all done. All right, hope that helps.